Hello, hello, hello. We are live. It is 2 o'clock on Sunday, and so I'm 3 minutes late because it's Sunday, and which is cool because we're going to talk about that stuff anyways. Guys, I think I need to drop that light a bit. So now you're all up in my chest. That's always fun, isn't it? So, no, it didn't make it any better. Anyways, forget about it, right? Um, On Sundays, hello, I am Courtney. Sunday's my relaxed, chilled, I'm with you. We're going to sit and hang out. We're going to talk. We're going to think about some stuff. I am Courtney from Stars of the Morning Light. I am a full metaphysical, spiritual resource platform. I love you all so much, you beautiful stars. Normally on Sundays, we get our messages from the Akashic Records, something to chew over the next week. This time, I got it from my guides, and there were, let's say, Akashic Record uh, beings there as well representing. So this message is still apropos. And truthfully, I didn't think that this was going to be the message. I thought it was going to be vastly different. And I thought playing on the energies, hello, Miss Shelley, playing on the energies, I thought it was going to be something else, but I'm liking what we're going to do today. For those who don't know, like I said, this is a full resource platform. Tonight is a Patreon class. You can jump right in. The link is not in the description yet because my computer was so slow. I said, I just got to go live. I'll do the description later. I will also put that link in the comments when we're done here. And it is good to see you, Shelley. It is Seeker of Truth. I kind of was gone from hanging out on other channels, doing my own channel for about 2 weeks there because I was busy with hosting a huge event, organizing and coordinating it and hosting it. It did go pretty well. It's interesting because Saturday we did not get the people walking through the door so much, but it was also a blessing because the healers and readers and all that were there, they needed healing. They needed to come together as a collective and be with each other. I mean, after we did Morning Circle, like 5 or 6 people started crying, and it was healing throughout the day. And please know that's how it works. We have to come together as a collective body and a collective consciousness. So that was very happy to see because it had been way too long. And healers and readers and psychics and all of us in this way, we need each other, because we understand each other. As I'm hoping many understand each other here. What's up, Joe? Good to see you, darling. And we will talk a bit about the energies that we're heading into. So, like I said, the link's not in the description yet, but if you would like to join us for spiritual development classes, they happen on my Patreon account, Stars of the Morning Light. There, we're doing it again tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join us. It's good stuff. Also, I have a lot of classes and whatnot coming up through starsofthemorninglight.com. Check those out. Today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beings of love and light, celestial beings, you beautiful stars, all the above and all the below. Today, the message is actually about manifest foundations, and I get why they wanted this to be the message. As I've been saying over and over again, many of us are in 5D, and many people are kind of in the fourth, which is really just the consciousness, the questioning, the curiosity, the awakening that leads us to 5. a lot of people move in and out of 5 and 3. Like I'm moving in and out. I have my good days, I have my bad days, which is cool. Everybody should. Hi, Lori, good to see you. But many of us are trying to sustain 5D. Has everything anchored yet? No. Well, it's coming up though, guys. Remember, we're birthing. We are in the waters of creation. We're birthing. We're giving new life, new earth. So that is manifesting. And a lot of what we talk about in the Emerald Tablets here is a lot about manifesting. But I think a lot of people, they make it so much bigger than it is. And that's why that was the message that was given to us today. Because in truth, we are manifesting all the time. I've said in other videos, our words trump our intentions, right? When it comes to manifesting, let's clarify that a little bit. Not because sight trumps words trump intentions. What? Because when we read the Emerald Tablets, we read that we only exist because we see it. I exist because you see me now, or something sees me. Could be the ultimate source sees me, so therefore I exist. All of these materials, all these things that we have, all the forms are really of the formless, and they exist because we see it. So therefore, sight, physical sight, imagined sight, that's why we do vision boards. Sight, daydreaming, imagination is creation. I have to say it again. Imagination is creation. Because we're seeing it. Now, words do trump intentions. How can that be? Well, attach your words to your sight. We usually only know how to identify what we see because we have a word for it. This is a pen. We all call this a pen. In whatever language we're using, we use the word pen for this. So then words attached to sight creates even stronger, right? Now I can really feel it. This is a pen. When we go to talk about intentions, when we go to talk about that with manifestation, here's, you know what, I'm going to bring up an example to explain, and then I'm going to explain even more. So take the event that I was just hosting and how I said a lot of the healers, the readers, the community needed healing themselves. Well, during morning circle at 9:30, each one of us said a word and we put it kind of into the circle as to what we wanted to receive out of the event and what we wanted others to receive. A word attached to our intentions. Well, come to find out, by the end of the day on Saturday, and by the end of the entire event, both Saturday and Sunday, in order for those words to have been manifested, even though those were our intentions were also kind of mucky. They really needed healing. So our word did work, but it didn't work instantaneously. It didn't work right in the moment. Not everybody received prosperity, love, and all sorts of stuff, right? Empowerment, whatever word they used. It took the healing that is really touched to or next to our intentions, because intentions will always be next to a part of our feelings. Intentions will always be attached to our feelings. Always, always, always. it took a whole lot of them healing to actually receive those intentions, those words. Same as, let's say we do desire, we have a willingness, we have a desire, we want something. That is our intention, but man, we got some ants in the brain, we got some negativity up here, and we don't understand why we're not manifesting those intentions, because the words in our mind are controlling it. The words in our mind, that when it doesn't come instantaneously, or when we get into doubt, fear, and there's reasons why I'm bringing this up because we're about to go into fear, it blocks those intentions, it blocks those desires, it blocks those willingness. And I know in other videos I said we need to check our desires, which we still do. We still do. Go back to other videos, they're in the playlists. Ones of that would be under the lessons of A to F or whatnot. Oh, welcome everybody. And if you're new here, you're come on in, relax. Everyone is welcomed here. Before I go into fear and more of the manifesting, we did pull a card today. Yay! A card from the Sacred Geometry deck. Number 14, communication. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both coming and going out, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Communication. Communication. Oh, the light's so blaring right there. Let me pull back some. Look at all those beautiful bubbles, some big, some small, coming out of. Oh my goodness, we have so many pyramids in this one, and I don't know if you guys can see it. So many lovely pyramids. We have what would look like the Star of David in a way in the middle, then a very tall, like more African type pyramid, not so much Egyptian. Oh my God, this is beautiful. I'm so in love. I'm so in love with all of this sacred geometry. Communication, the frequency, and remember, we have been learning frequency is just a conscious level. So consciously how we're communicating supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. So, the weekly goal is to focus on the foundations of manifesting. Because right now we are trying to birth. More people are trying to establish themselves in 5D, which 5D is the area, dimensional plane, frequency, conscious level, will be an actual plane once we can start truly creating it. It is that of compassion, love, light, all of it. It is what we are all trying to work towards and manifest. So the foundations of it, I will tell you right now, as I said, we're going to talk about fear. We're manifesting all the time. We really are. And this is where I'm probably going to, I'm going to pause because I got to kind of check myself because I get very passionate about this part. And it does go into the whole communication card, which I'm happy they decided to pull that. I get very passionate here. There's a reason why other teachers, other leaders, why have you say, pay attention to what you're listening to, pay attention to what you're reading, pay attention to what you're seeing. What kind of communication are you having? Because those are all forms of communication. And the reason they speak about that is because we are manifesting all the time. Remember, manifesting is very close to what we learned in the Emerald Tablets. I have this pyramid here, right? This pyramid only exists because I see it. This pyramid is only here because I refer to it as a pyramid. This is actually formless, but yet, because I'm seeing it, because I'm feeling it, because I'm calling it a pyramid, therefore it exists. Hence, we're manifesting all the time. The chair I'm sitting in right now is actually a manifestation of my sights, words, feels. And remember, intention's close to our feelings. All senses of feelings. Right? And we're doing that. That's what we're doing. And so we have to pay attention to what kind of communication, all that's coming in and going out should run through our heart center, it says. So we can, I'm going to move this a bit. Sorry, guys. We can pay attention to what we want to take with us and drop the rest. Before I go into fear, I want to talk about the current energies, because I know I keep saying I'm going to go into fear. This is very touchy because of what's going on. Right now, the energies of September were difficult. The energies of I'm traveling better through September than I did at all in July and August. But it's because of I had already practiced for at least definitely 2 years of the energies that are demanding everyone to practice right now. You know, normally the energies that are presented are gentle enough that we can, kind of coast through them, pay attention to them or not pay attention to them. Not anymore. I've been saying it for months. The energies that are now present are actually demanding us to change, to manifest a different form out of the formless. So September for me has been a bit easier. I'm just saying that because I kind of do want to boast on myself, because I put in the work, guys. I put in the work to now be able to have a little bit smooth sailing right now. September was all about understanding and becoming aware of how much we judge. How much we judge each other, how much we judge ourselves, how much we judge the people closest to us. That's what we're headed into soon. Actually, it's already here. A lot of the beginning of September was judging the outside, governments, people out there, institutions, all of it. Blech. Judge the world. And we should have been aware during that time, we're in a store and we're seeing somebody and we make a judgment. A light bulb should have went. I think, why am I even paying attention to that person? Why am I thinking that way? Then it would have moved from judging the outside world, to the inside. And we started judging ourselves. Big time. Which is related to that propulsion, that pull, that fast people were feeling. I got to do. Well, I got to go fast. I got to get it done. When we actually weren't really getting anything done. Many of us weren't. We were just going fast and losing steam. But it's because it's attached to the soul's calling that we all committed to, knowing or not. Now like 4 or 5 years ago. I lose track of time. I don't know what year we're usually in. That went inward. So first it was, oh yay, I get to judge everybody around me. People, places, things, definitely institutions, those in power. Then it went to us inside. Oh, I'm not doing good enough. I'm not living my purpose. I'm not, why don't I have it all figured out yet? And now, starting as of last Wednesday, Thursday-ish, depending on your life and situation and where you're at, now it's more kind of a mix of the two. It's us and our intimate, our partnerships, our spouses, our children, those in our home, those in our workspaces. Now the judgment towards them is there, which we don't need it. What this is here to represent and try to help us do is to actually become first aware of how many times in our day we have those types of thoughts. If people were really paying attention here and paying attention to their inner thoughts, this past 4 to 6 weeks, what have you, what we're in, should have been, wow. I did talk to people. There are people that it's like, wow, I went into a location and I judged 14 times. Yeah, you probably did. And you probably always had. We all have. Like I said, I put the work in, and I started this at least 2 years ago, of becoming aware. Now people are becoming aware. And none of us like the fact that we do that. We don't like it, right? None of us really that are heart-centered like the fact that our brains judge. It seemingly almost out of our control. So this energy was there to pronounce it to us, scream it to us. Wow, we are very human in our judgments. And I do want to point out there, the Patreon class that will be going tonight and moving forward is all about higher frequencies, higher consciousness. And we are right now talking about fears and judgments and what do we got to do about them. So join us at Stars of the Morning Light Patreon, either $5 or $8. I'm not breaking anybody's bank. It's to help. So judgments, and I know it's like, Courtney, get to the manifesting. I can't until we talk about this, because we're manifesting all the time. And we're currently continuously manifesting out of fear. As we all, this past few weeks, have been able to examine and become aware of the fact of how much we judge, that actually our judgments are based out of fears. Our judgments are based out of fears. It's that old thing of, well, maybe it's not old to you, I'm telling you right now, but it is old. It's that old thing of, I feel like I'm going to be rejected, so I'm going to slam them before they slam me. Or I feel like, I'm going to lose out, so I'm going to judge whoever I think is going to take something away from me. Or I'm going to judge that person because I'm envious. Envious is still under fear and lack. Whatever it may be. I'm going to judge them before they judge me, because I want to feel secure in my fears. Even when we judge ourselves based out of fear. I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. Why can't I get anything right? Why am I not more ascended? Courtney keeps talking about this 5D stuff. I'm not feeling it. Fear. Fear that we're not up to par. Fear that we're not going to make it. Fear that we're not loved enough to be a part of 5D. You are. We all are. Fear. Fear we're not doing enough to make enough money to survive all the other fears in the world. Fear. And I also, this is the part that, I hate saying it, guys, this is the part that's going to, others are not going to like hearing it. Conspiracy theories. That is so done and over with, ladies and gentlemen. I hate saying it. That, man, are we staying in 2014? Are we staying in 2016? No, we got to move forward. So, are conspiracy theories right? Do they happen? Yeah, we get it. All of us are intelligent human beings that understand that, yeah, pretty much we've been lied to since the get-go, since many, many, many get-goes. What happens, though, when we stay in the conspiracy? Because it is fun. It's fun. And it's gets your blood going. But when we stay there, we are actually staying in victim mentality. Sorry, guys. We are. So what? We've been lied to. There's a lot of betrayal. And in the awakening process, we do have to work through all that. That's a whole big, huge part of the beginning of the awakening process. So I do understand there might be people here listening that are just now waking up. I love you dearly. Unfortunately, you got to skim this book and get to the end because this is where we're at. Sorry if you're just now kind of waking up to things. We love you, adore you, and yes, we want you here. But yeah, now it's a matter of we have to, if you're just waking up, yeah, skim through all these pages, get to the end and be with us. So am I against conspiracy? No, I'm not. I mean, I can sit with the best of them, trust me. Do I stay there? No. Because remember, what we see exists. We pulled the card of communication today. We bring everything in and out, has to go through the heart center. How much does conspiracy even matter anymore? We're supposed to be creating a whole new earth. And the conspiracies keep us in the fears. The conspiracies keep reminding us of the lack of our power when really we should be owning our power. We should be all powerful. It's only the door that gets you in the room. In the room, you should be finding more of who you are and your power, and then walking through the back door out to the expanded open. Because the more we stay in that stuff, the more we listen to that stuff, the more we pay attention to that stuff, the more we are manifesting all the time. So therefore, that is what we're manifesting. And when we manifest out of fear, when we manifest out of judgment, when we manifest out of all the fears of lack, rejection, survival, as we are, still, nothing good comes out of it. It's exactly where they want us to be. Nothing good comes out of it. So we do have to release these fears. Now, I do understand that when we listen to the Emerald Tablets. That's pretty big, heavy stuff. Trying to wrap our head around all that exists is only form out of the formless. I get it. It's some big stuff. So we need to start with the basics. Once again, that's why this is the Akashic Weekly goal of Manifest Foundations. With a sacred geometry card that got pulled out of communication. I'm going to hold it up again. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both coming in and going out, through our heart, the center of truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Let's just talk some basics. We are really removing a lot of the fears in our Patreon classes and or every autumn, fall that we're stepping into, starting next Sunday night, September 24th. I do every autumn, I do my shadow work courses. And I have broken them down now because they were very intense before, into a 5-part course. Zoom meetings are good. Most of them cost only like $38. And there you really release a lot of fears and a lot of other stuff. So if you're interested in that, the description is not present right now, but it will be for most of you that will be watching this later. Come join us for the shadow work courses, because I do it in the fall, in the autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere, because that is our time of dying away and releasing and gaining the wisdom from the old crone, that by the time of Yule, the representation that the light will return, and definitely by spring, we are a new person. That's what we're supposed to be doing in the fall. So therefore, I do what we're supposed to. Join me for those. And the first one is Sunday the 24th. So simple stuff, because we need to acknowledge we are manifesting all the time. And remember, sight trumps words, but they work together. This is a pyramid because I see it, but I also know it's a pyramid because I call it one. Intentions are close to our emotions and our feelings, all of our senses, so they get muddy. They get confused. They get a whole lot of gunk, our intentions. Sight will always trump words. Words work with sight. Words will always trump intentions. Always. So if we got a bunch of crazy, messed up communication that we're not bringing through our heart space, our words and our mind will get messed up. And instead of the beautiful, loving greatness of 5D into 7, really, all of that, we end up not even being able to see, because our mind keeps listening and talking and thinking about the fears, the lack, the deficiency, all of it. So easy stuff we can do. I know most people in this chat right now, which bless you, beautiful beings. I know most of them have already started to meditate. You have to start meditating. There is no better tool to heighten your frequency, which is your conscious level, than meditation. There's ones that are pretty darn good, but meditation, and we're going to talk about it for just a moment. Meditation is the greatest tool that all beings can do. All human beings can meditate. no matter what your conscious level is, no matter if you've never done it before. It is that source, that tool that we can utilize to relieve ourselves of the craziness of the mind, to relieve ourselves of the stress, to eventually open ourselves up to higher conscious planes. There's so many great things about it. And too many people get caught up with this concept of, thank God there's more information now out there. I do have to say that, thank goodness, because for so long, especially when I was back trying to do this with people in the 90s and the early 2000s, oh my goodness, vastly too many people had this concept that we had to be Buddha sitting on the mountaintop meditating for 12 hours straight to achieve something. That is so not the case. What we can do, though, is we can sit with music. We can sit with a guided meditation. We can sit, and as the fast thoughts and all the thoughts are racing through, we can just allow them to melt away. And the more we do that, because I'm about to talk about breath work as well, the more we do that, the more we are clearing the space in our mind to begin to manifest positive instead of negative. And I'm not a big fan about using those terms, positive and negative, because for me, they don't really exist that way. But to deliver this message, I have to use them. The more we meditate and just sit for 10 minutes. And yes, working as you meditate is great as well. Going for a nice walk. When I'm crazy in the brain, I literally do have to get to the woods. And I have to go for a hike. And depending on how crazy I am, how angry, because I got a lot of anger. I was a warrior for many, many lives. I get to the woods, and within 10 to 20 minutes of hiking, they're gone. Because I'm actually just releasing it in a meditative, repetitive, I'm walking in the woods state. But the majority of us do have to sit and just give ourselves that at least 10 minutes of space every day. Because we need to no longer be manifesting all the time out of negative, and we need to start manifesting in the positive. Breath work, attached to meditation or not, it's fine. Breath work. Your breath is sacred. Your breath. Why do you think we just had an attack on the breath? Your breath is sacred. It is unique to you. How you bring it in, how you let it out. Your voice is unique to you, and it takes our breath to make it happen. It's all frequency. How we breathe in, how we breathe out, what it's attached to are. Think about that for a minute. Please just really think about it. Yes, our breath helps all of the muscles and cells of our body, but when we really pay attention to the breath in general form, it is mostly attached to our heart and our throat. That is sacred. Our heart and our throat. So, any variation of just focusing on your breath. There's many that I do. I don't do it, but I've experienced many of the different weird kind of things, in my opinion, that came out of the 70s of screaming and breathing very hard or fast. But it works for other people. Not so much for me, that's not my jam. But it works for other people. Any breath work. Any just being with your breath. Any bit of acknowledging that your breath is so completely sacred. Dance. These are, guys, these are such foundational, simple things that any human can do. Even no matter if we're not able to fully dance for whatever reason, we can still dance in our minds. We can still get something moving, listening to music. Dance is the expression of the body. Dance awakens the energies. Dance, when we're stomping on the ground, brings the ions up into the sky and makes it rain. Dance is a celebration. Dance moves and clears all the negativity. Dance is a part of creation as well. And I want to bring up color before I continue into something else. Color. I know, right? Color, really? I will tell you, most extreme feeler empaths, those are the ones that like take on all other people's energies. When they meditate, they mainly just see color. It is very hard for them to really develop skills of seeing actual visualizations. Mostly when they start, it is colors, which is perfectly fine for those feeler empaths. Perfectly fine. You want to know why? I'm going to read it in Thoth here for a moment. In the Emerald Tablets. Most of you know about the prayer that we do at the end on Fridays at the end of every tablet. But let's remind some people. Mighty beyond words is the flame of the cosmic, that flame that lives within all of us. Hanging in planes unknown to man, mighty and balanced, moving in order, music of harmonies far beyond man. Speaking with music. This is the mighty cosmic, the force. What do you think we're using when we're manifesting? But it's been sabotaged. It's been taken over. I'm trying to get us to take our power back. Speaking with music, singing with color, flame from the beginning of eternity's all. Spark of the flame are you, O my children. Burning with color and living with music. That's a part of a prayer that we do at the end of every Emerald Tablet Revealed on Friday. Color. You are all so beautifully, colorfully made. What we create is colorfully made. When we dance about, because we are living music, we are living color. We are in creation. But the world has us seeing the lack, the deficiency, the error, the judgment. Fear, 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 fear. Well, I have to tell you, fear is the most colorless energy. It's disgusting. It has no color. It's like, I mean, I even did gray a little bit, and it's not even gray. It's like muted grayness. Ugh. And some will call it black, but it's not actually black. Fear. Fear is the worst. But you, I, all the beautiful stars all of the beautiful beings here. They are of music and color. Speaking with music, singing with color, flame from the beginning of eternity's all. Spark of the flame are you. Spark of the flame are you. So you are speaking with music. You are singing with color. We are singing with color because we're manifesting all the time. These things only exist. So I just grabbed this off my desk. This is my crystal apple. I have a thing with apples. You can look up why, but I do. And this is my crystal apple. It sits on my desk. This apple is red. It's got green. It's got a little clear, This apple's here because I see it, and I see it in color. And I call it an apple. And I say that it's red and green and beautiful. I say that it's a crystal. I say that it's my apple on my desk. Because I am singing with color. I'm living with the harmonies of the music of life. So, we all do the same. There's no difference between us and the emerald tablets. There's no difference between you and I. There's no difference. We will eventually have to talk about those who are different, that are working at a lower vibration frequency. But for us, we are creating. They did want me to talk a bit about forgiveness. There's been a lot said here as far as creation, as far as manifestation, as far as fears, as far as judging others, because we're in that spot, and judging ourselves and judging our loved ones. And if you feel like you're being judged right now as well, no, it's the energies. Release, release, release. Don't take things personally, right? Forgiveness does have to be at play. We actually are never truly released from our fears. We're never truly released into higher conscious levels, frequencies, if forgiveness has not been worked through. And I do say work through, because many of us have been damaged in many, many, many different ways. And many of us still have to do the work for this timeline, let alone previous things in other past lives that we have to forgive. I will tell you humbly that I have some stuff from my past lives that I don't know what's wrong with me. I seriously, consciously, I have forgiven. I know that stuff doesn't even exist anymore. And I'm talking about like the Ottoman Empire, guys. I have issues from past lives that if I even hear that name, because I fought them many a times over, I immediately feel rage. That's happening within everyone. It's not always just this life. And so I'm working through things as well. I'm here with you. But for this life, we do have to forgive. First, we have to look at our fears. We do. We have to ask ourselves, is this real or imagined? What is it attached to, feeling base-wise? And then when somebody has harmed us, if we're not still in that harm happened years before, possibly even a sly comment weeks before. What works the best for me is not to just say, oh, I got a clean slate and I'm not looking back at the past. That does work for some people. What really works for me is the self-identifying that I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. I have actually harmed others many times over. Same as the ones who harmed us were not perfect. And what usually happens is they tend to be those in authority, those who were supposed to care for us and take care of us and love us and treat us like the beautiful beings that we are. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So we go, okay, it didn't happen. I'm going to love myself now. I'm going to accept my full self. I'm going to take care of myself. As for that, we all have our different severities of how we've hurt or harmed ourselves or others. Because many of us tend to hurt ourselves more than others. We're still hurting someone, aren't we? These are things that are learned. These are reactions to circumstances, people, places, and things, what has been done. But when we can really kind of stop and look at it and work through our fears first, then we can look at that situation, look at that person, and this is all in our mind's eye. We do not necessarily have to physically. There's many people that are dead for me. I can't physically see them, but I can imagine them in my mind's eye. And I can see their pain. I can see their suffering. I can see how they were operating completely in their fear when they hurt me and others. That they were in complete fear. And they were then projecting their fears onto me or harming me based out of their fears. Well, I can't continue to judge and carry that pain when someone really didn't know better. And once again, we think that these people know better. We wanted them to know better, but they didn't. And everyone has a different path. And those who have children that might be listening, you understand this. You understand this more so than others. That when you were raising your kids, did you do that perfectly? No, you didn't. No, I can guarantee you didn't. Because there's no such thing. Were you better than what you received? Most likely. Most likely. All of us have always been doing the best that we know how, for the most part. Some people are just bitter, cruel, and horrible. They hurt severely. Hurt people. But when we can really look at that, we can see them in our mind's eye, tell them that we forgive them, tell them of all the beautiful things that we've learned about our strength, about our fortitude, about what we truly care about in this life. We learned from that situation. We can say, thank you. This is done. I have forgiven you. This angelic cord is cut. And when we go to cut cords in true forgiveness, and ready to release that energy, we can say words like that. You tell that other being in your mind's eye that you receive something from that energy exchange that is helping you to develop and grow spiritually. You can tell them that you are completely done with that experience and any lingering energy. And then you can say, the cord between us is cut. And I do want to tell you guys right now, I don't think I've ever taught this on here. After you do that in your mind's eye, you have to clap very loud. That clap, oh, I'm sorry, I just woke up my dog. That clap is what finalizes the cut. Sound sound. And for a moment left, I'm going to talk about gratitude. So, as many of you here know, that for me, all spiritual development, all beginning to manifest in a positive way, because we're manifesting all the time. I think I just said that probably 46 times in this episode. For me, the two biggest cornerstones, foundation, what have you, to any spiritual growth is meditation and gratitude. And I do want to point out, I just went from fear, some simple tools to work on the fears, into forgiveness and how that has to be present. It has to happen for us to move forth, for you to receive what you truly deserve. You beautiful being, you are worthy because you are here. It's that simple. But when we hold on to lack of forgiveness, resentments, that is that saying of drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. We do not clear the space within ourselves, within our heart, within all of the chakra system, for us to claim and be in our power and our authority to manifest all that we are freely given, really. We don't do that if we don't have forgiveness. Going into gratitude is what is even a bigger tool to help us achieve that full forgiveness, achieve our full prosperity, achieve knowing and loving ourselves completely. Gratitude. Do all of us have everything we want? No, not at all. My husband's car is in the shop right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't. Do we deserve it? Yes. Am I grateful that I have a neighbor that is a mechanic and can handle that? Am I grateful that my husband has a car? Yeah. Am I grateful for all of it? Am I grateful for the hurts? The hurts that I thought capsized me and ruined my world, destroyed me. Now, I am so grateful for. I am extremely grateful for, because it's made me who I am. It's allowed me to do what I'm doing right now. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of the past. I'm grateful for my present, and I'm grateful for my future. The more we can create a gratitude list, the more we can look at the things that we're grateful for, the more we can understand and feel our worth, the more we can be a light for others, the more we can quiet the madness of the mind. If I'm not able to meditate in that moment and I'm raging in my mind, I think of my gratitude list. It calms me down, because really, I don't lack anything. I'm not in survival mode. That does not exist. That is a fear. It doesn't exist if I don't see it. It doesn't exist if I don't feel it. It doesn't exist if I don't call it out and say it. Because as we learn in the Emerald Tablets, everything, all is all, and all is form out of the formless. So these are all the foundations to truly start manifesting what we want to really create for the new earth, for when you all very much are sustaining yourselves in 5D, then anchoring into 5D, and then are ready and moving towards the 7. And remember, as we also learn in the Emerald Tablets, 5 Lord 5, Dimension 5, is the master of magic, meaning true creation, true manifesting, true never knowing fear, because you know you are magic. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a pretty big goal for an entire week, but just start simple. We talked about the foundations, releasing the fears, releasing the judgments, moving forth in forgiveness, compassion, grace, understanding. As St. Francis said, it's better to understand than to be understood. Don't take things so personally. Have that gratitude. Use your meditation skills. Use your sacred breath day in and day out, and dance, 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 you colorful, colorful, colorful creation. I love you all so much. I do. I love you all so much. You are the solution. You are the authority. You are that beautiful creation. Stick tuned. If you want to join us tonight for the Patreon class, go to patreon.com, Stars of the Morning Light. My face is there. I'm sure you can see me. Sign in or subscribe for $5 or $8 a month. I'm cheap, so you can succeed, everyone. And if not, definitely be thinking about the shadow work courses for this autumn. That's where, yes, true release and transformation can be. I love you all so much. Thank you for donating, those who donate with the PayPal, and have a great week. I'll see you Friday, as definitely, and I'm sure I'll see you sometime this week for other episodes. Namaste, beautifuls.